Hello and welcome to the RN show. I'm here today joined by Josh and Jake. How are you, boys?
Yeah, good. Thank you, mate. Yourself?
Yes, I can't complain. Are you snaky?
Yeah, amazing, mate. Thanks.
First and foremost, how was your birthday, mate?
Yeah, it was good. It was good. Yeah, chilled. Didn't do very much, but chilled out nonetheless. So that's all my birthdays seem to be these days as you get older. It's a sad thing, but on the way to 30, so can't complain.
It's crazy, especially being a member of the Sith as well. It's quite hard.
I know. I gotta kill some people later, but we won't talk about that. We'll talk about that later.
Did Santa bring you everything you wanted Christmas?
Yeah, and a few surprises. So yeah, happy with what I had. What about you? You boys, everything you wanted?
Yeah, mine was mostly my mother. My favourite sweets are Percy Pigs. So whenever I mention that, I get, if anyone's been to M&S recently, they do a whole load of Percy Pig themed things, none of which I want for where I live. However,
Yeah.
I now have all of them.
Oh,
I've always wanted to have a shower, get out, stand on a Percy Pig bath mat. I've always wanted that. What else? Just loads of random stuff. I got an Indian cookery course. It was quite a cool present. So yeah, it was good. It was good, thank you. How about you, Rick?
Yeah, can't complain. Good, like I say, so after last year, just good to see the families and catch up with people who so you couldn't catch up with last Christmas. So I thought that was good. But yeah, just a mixture of chill days in the house and time with the families. So yeah, it was good. What did Rafa get, Josh?
Rafa got a little personalised Christmas tree decoration that's shaped like him with his name on. And I also got a very nice picture that I've taken of him previously in a jigsaw. So I think I'm going to put the jigsaw together and frame it. So.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah, he wasn't really bothered by Christmas, to be honest. He's not really bothered by anything. I'm just looking at him now. He's having a little sunbathe, doesn't really care. So, yeah, I don't think he was too bothered by Christmas. Bless him.
Fair enough.
We all deserve to be like that, sunbathing, but yeah.
But he's like that every day.
Lucky. Lucky boy.
You may get sunbathing holidays in about 10 years if COVID lasts us. Yeah. Mm-hmm. There we go. But yeah, no, good. Glad you both had a great Christmas. But boys, I have to say, what's happened to Liverpool? Gone off the rails, and now your two best players are off playing the African Cup of Nations.
Yeah, we don't talk about that. To be fair, they've been playing well. The Liverpool-Chelsea game was a brilliant game. Some strange decisions in there, even with Mane, even as a Liverpool fan, should he have seen red potentially? I think very much Chelsea have dropped off since Chilwell and James got injured. Liverpool, have, not gone off the rails massively, but aren't playing up to the level that they maybe should be. And I think we've massively just handed the title to City as long as they keep playing how they have been, which is, very, very well. So, it's just one of those things. But if we can get 3 points off City, if Chelsea can get 3 points off City when we play them, if they can drop a couple of silly points like they normally do to some of the smaller clubs, I think Crystal Palace are a bit of a bogey team for them. Maybe we've got a chance, but we'll see. At least it's an interesting title race, because the last couple of years it's just been one team. By Christmas you've gone, yeah, they're 100% going to win. Whereas at least it's a bit more mixed up now. And Arsenal have been playing brilliantly. They're not going to win the league, but can definitely see them in Champions League if they get a couple of players in now in the January transfer window as well.
Yeah.
To having a few young players. See any Klopp bringing anyone in, Jake, in January?
I think we need I don't know. I'm not really sure. I think we need more in terms of midfielders. Milner's obviously aging a little bit. I don't think Ox is good, but he's not the best. So I think we need another leader in there that can sort of bring us over, because I don't think like Milner's not too bad. He's good for the young players. I think obviously Van Dijk's a big presence as well, but obviously I think he was majorly overhyped this season. So because of our results, could have done a lot better. But yeah, I think we need I can't name any names really off the top of my head, but I think that's what we need. And we need a good centre back partnership. So we need a solid, like, good couple of months with just two centre backs, not chopping and changing all the time. I think that's what's sort of gone wrong for us for the last, like, this season and last season.
Fair enough, but yeah, don't mention no names. You don't want people to start poaching your targets. Good point. You can't all, you know. I'm just
usually
happy. Second in the
Yeah.
championship, flying high. Brighton Diaz leading the way. So we'll look forward to playing you next season.
to go up to go down, as they say.
Oh, definitely up, my friend. Definitely up. But yeah, we'll have to see. We're good so far. But yeah, no, I agree. See how the football goes now. Should be interesting going up to Christmas. All right, then. Let's speak a bit about the wrestling then. What we're here for. Josh, I know that you watched day one like myself. What did you think of it, mate? What was the standout for you there?
I think the Usos match was good. Usos and Day. I think I can't think of a bad match that they've ever really had. You know, they've got all that chemistry, all that charisma together. The more I see the King Woods character, the more I'm happy that he beat Finn Balor for King of the Ring. Just because I can't see Finn Balor in that role at all. You know, especially with where I want him to go, sort of, you know, up and up and up. But yeah, so that was a brilliant match, I think. Very, very strange to see Brock Lesnar winning a world title and being unanimously cheered by everybody. But I really like this babyface version of him. I do, and I think potentially this will go off in a slightly better direction. Now he's the WWE champion than if he probably lost the Universal title match to Reigns because of something to do with Heyman. So, no, I quite like this. Nice little teasers for the Bobby Lashley match, which we've all been looking for. You know, Shane Biggie went down to 1F5. You know, when obviously they built up, you know, McIntyre to take like 5 or 6, and then he's going up against Madcap Moss, which was just a ridiculous match and a ridiculous name. But, you know, Edge, Miz was all right. We had the nice Brood entrance. You know, we've set up Maurice and Miz versus Edge and Beth Phoenix for the Rumble now. You know, it's fine. Because would Edge win the Rumble? No, because he won it last year. Would Miz win the Rumble? No, probably not. Have we got enough women to have a women's Royal Rumble? No, probably not. So we probably need Maurice and Beth to do double duty and be in that as well. But yeah, overall it wasn't bad. You know, it's not one of the, you know, pay-per-views that I'm going to remember. It's not going to be on, you know, a top 10 list of anything, but it wasn't bad. I think Liv Morgan gave a good showing of herself. Like she hasn't really had the opportunity to do during this feud so much, but you know, they've put Becky, and Charlotte on such a pedestal. Who's really going to beat them? I think Sasha got injured at a house show the other day. The rumor is, obviously Toni Storm leaving WWE, and essentially in an interview saying it's because of Charlotte Flair, saying that she's put on a pedestal. How is anyone going to beat her? You know, she thinks she's the queen in the ring. That's going to be a gimmick, but she thinks she's the queen backstage as well. You know, for me, I'd much rather someone like Toni Storm hold that title than Charlotte, because all Charlotte seems to have done the last 6 months or so is piss people off. And, you know, she is very, very good in the ring, but it's stale. It's boring when it's just her really in the title picture over there. You know, personally, I'd rather Toni Storm, young, up-and-coming talent. You know, even if it's just until, you know, just before Mania or she loses at Mania or whatever, you know, it gives her a platform. But she'll probably go over, I don't know, AEW, Impact. Obviously, her fiance Juice Robinson is in New Japan, so she can always go over to Japan, have a look at, you know, Shimmer, things like that. But yeah, overall, good pay-per-view. Shame Toni Storm's left, and yeah, that's about it.
Mate, what I would say is that I'm not sure if you've seen anything from Raw, but I watched the first part of Raw this morning with breakfast, and Paul Heyman was Brock Lesnar's advocate again. So I don't know whether the babyface thing is going to last now that he's he was there with Brock again. But yeah, I see what you mean. He was very much cheered last night. So Saturday night, and it was good seeing him in
I
that
don't like
dynamic.
that.
What's that, mate?
Let Brock have his own run. He doesn't need Paul Heyman. With Paul Heyman, it just goes a bit, samey. Let him cut promos. Let him wink in the camera when he's talking to Kayla Braxton. Let him have selfies with fans after the match. He's still a beast in the ring. And for me, he doesn't need Paul Heyman there necessarily. Because it just makes him a bit samey. And no one wants to see Paul Heyman as a babyface because he's not. He's a slimy, smarmy, greasy man who used to have a ponytail, but that's the point of him. So no, I'd rather personally see, unless he's his advocate and he just F5s him and's like, yeah, I don't need you either. That I'd like to see, but we shall see.
Could happen, mate. Could very much happen. Jake, what did you think of the Usos bringing out the 3D?
Nostalgic, I think, at best. It was so I had to charge my phone. That's probably why you done noise. But yeah, it was nostalgic at best. I think it was a decent match. Obviously, as Josh said, they've had a lot of matches together. But yeah, I think the whole event was pretty decent, and I think it just contributes to why like WWE's gone so like downhill the last like couple of years, and why sort of I don't know, why in my opinion, like I said before, why wrestling sort of gone a bit downhill. This is all this has all gone sort of like full circle, in terms of the main event. Yeah, obviously people looking forward to Bobby Lashley and Lesnar, and obviously we saw a preview after the match. But yeah, it's just the same. As I said, a lot of egos backstage. A lot of the younger guys, a lot of the younger women get drawn out, and then move into the AEW or Impact or whatever it is, so they can get some airtime. It's pretty sad, but yeah, I mean, it wasn't too bad. Again, Johnny Knoxville being announced in the Rumble again. Why do we need it? Is it to do with this new Jackass film coming out? I don't know. The speculation is high at the moment because obviously I think it was 2008 or something. It was Chris Pontius and Steve-O that were in on a Raw or something of some kind. So yeah, I think it's silly, to be honest. A lot of people not getting a chance, especially from NXT. Not getting a chance to go for a title. There's some big name talent that has obviously gone off to across to AEW now to look for a bit more of glory, which seems less and less likely now, as they've got about 3 rosters full of people. So yeah, I mean, it was okay. I'm looking forward to the Rumble at the end of this month and obviously WrestleMania. But like I said to you guys, those are the two I will religiously watch every year, as something decent takes place usually. And also, before I shut up, there's also rumors of apparently X-Pac coming back for a match. I don't know if this was to do with the Royal Rumble. Obviously, they said it'd be a return sometime in 2022. I just want to say how ridiculous that is, considering even back in the day, he wasn't that in the NWO or DX. He wasn't that great in terms of mic work. I think RVD was 10 times better than him. But yeah. So yeah, I'll stop ranting about that. But that's
why are you basing that comparison on? The fact that they were both on drugs most of the time?
No, it's just physical ability. Like, and RVD's mic skills were a little bit better, but it's just physical ability and presence. Like everyone loved RVD. Like the X-Pac is just like the third guy, the third wheel, I guess, for any sort of group. And it's I don't know. He seemed like he was just like the Eugene of DX and the Eugene of NWO. I don't want to say. I don't. Let's stick to like Hall of Fame and be done with it, and let him write books or whatever. But nobody cares.
Well, if he turns up in the Rumble, then that's fair enough. That's all I can imagine him doing. I can't see Xbox coming back to the ring full time. But I've got to be honest, when I was watching it in the mid '90s, when he was the 1-2-3 kid and stuff like that, he was unbelievable in the ring. So that's why he became part of the clique. So yeah, I don't know about that. I don't know whether I want to see him full time, Jakey, just like you. But yeah, nice little turn up at the Rumble. I don't think anyone would mind that too much. Joshy, what do you reckon then at the Rumble? So you're on about the women's locker room obviously being quite small at the moment. Do you think that means we're going to see a lot of NXT, or we're going to see a lot of veterans return?
I think it could be a bit of both, to be honest. With the NXT roster now, maybe we'll get some call-ups. People like, I don't know, like Casey Catanzaro, things like that, maybe getting called up because they're not really doing anything on NXT. They're not really, being pushed as like these new stars are. So yeah, potentially, people like that being called up. I think, Toxic Attraction could make make a bit of a splash in the Women's Rumble. Obviously, there's 3 of them. Mandy Rose could, cut some promo saying she's going to be the first ever NXT, superstar to win the Rumble, blah, 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 blah. And obviously she's a known name as well. Yeah. And it can really elevate the other 2 by being sort of associated with them in the Rumble. We always need, especially heel factions to sort of, dominate for a little bit. Like we all remember probably 2011 Rumble, CM Punk and the New Nexus. They were throwing everyone out until John Cena came in, got rid of everyone apart from Punk. So, it'd be a nice little way of maybe introducing some Lapsed fans or some, big 4 pay-per-view fans to the NXT brand. But yeah, I can see some legends coming back. But the only thing is a lot of legends they've like burnt their bridges with, who've then gone to other companies, people like Mickie James, things like that. But I think they can always rely on, Kelly Kelly, Tori Wilson. Maybe we'll get Stacy Keibler in there. Paige might be the big return because she's been, tweeting some cryptic things about maybe coming back, whether that's for the better or for worse. Obviously, with a sort of injury record, I'd much rather it be, safe and well. But then look at Edge. Edge is putting on some big matches. Daniel Bryan's put on. I remember I watched it's like a What Culture top 10 matches of wrestling from 2021. I think Daniel Bryan was in like 6 of them. 6 or 7, and he's, meant to be injured and retired and all this, that, and the other, and he's, massively has, well, 3rd or 4th wind, whichever you want to call it. But yeah, Women's Rumble, I haven't really got any predictions for who's going to win. I honestly can tell you. Obviously, Rhea Ripley's just not in that position anymore. Bianca Belair won last year. My pick would have been maybe someone like Toni Storm, but obviously she's gone now. Yeah. Bayley maybe returning as a babyface. So I think she'd need to return as a baby. We'd be very happy for her to win. Go and challenge probably Charlotte and beat her. Because I don't really see anyone beating all big-time backs at the moment. However annoying of a Conor McGregor tribute she is. But yeah, the Women's Rumble, the Men's Rumble, again, I'm not really sure. Apparently, Drew McIntyre's out with a legitimate injury. When they wrote him off with that chair thing, apparently he may be legitimately injured. Ricochet injured Riddick Moss as well, doing a standing shooting star press. Not that he's going to be winning the Rumble. But I don't know, maybe Lashley to go up against Lesnar. Or potentially Seth Rollins to go up against Reigns. But I maybe see Rollins, Owens, maybe going for the Raw Tag Team title, something like that, and winning them. Because do we want to see RK Bro split up before Mania? Do we want to see him in a Mania match? No, I quite like them. So if they lost the titles at Mania, Raw after Mania turns to Randy heel turn, maybe big blow off match at SummerSlam, something like that. But or maybe even Riddle heel turn. I reckon Riddle will be a good heel, and we've all seen Randy as a heel, so we don't really need it. Whereas I think a Riddle heel turn could, shoot him up the card to maybe challenge him for bigger titles. So who knows? You didn't really ask me that question, did you? I'm just rambling. But
no, it's fine, mate. There's 2 Rumbles, equality and all that.
That's basically the point of this this show, isn't it? Just
Ramble,
to talk,
mate.
see what happens. But
That's what the R stands for.
Yeah. But no, I'm not 100% sure who's going to win. To be honest, which I quite like. And Rumble is 100% my favourite pay-per-view of the year. Like Mania is good, but I think the Rumble has always been my favourite ever since the first Rumble I watched with Rey Mysterio winning in 2006. So yeah, big fan of the Royal Rumble.
I agree, mate. I think it's good. It's an interesting one. It's probably the first time, like you said, that there's no nailed down winners in either Rumble. Usually you can kind of pick out of the top brass, but I don't think it's going to be the same this year. But yeah, I'm not sure. Is Oscar out permanently? Because, maybe she could return at the Rumble again. But yeah, that would be someone I would think maybe as well, like you say with Bailey as well. Them two would be the 2 top names you would think about it, or whether or not, because obviously Liv Morgan's had her chances at Bex. Maybe they give her the Rumble to guarantee her a chance. So I don't know. They're the 3 names that would shout out to me, and someone like Xia Li as a random one, being the protector of SmackDown as the character they're making now. But yeah. No, what about you, Jakey? What do you think about the Rumble? And apart from, wanting Maven to return, or you're not of X-Pac?
I would like to see probably Cesaro win. I think we've all been wanting that for bloody ages. Since we've been doing this, the guy is underrated. Yeah, he had his opportunity for the title. I think it was a couple of months ago, and it just hasn't really worked since. So obviously he had that. He was in that tag team as well. He was in. I can't remember who the other guy was. But yeah, I think definitely him for starters. Obviously my second one would be Maven if he ever comes back. I doubt it though. I think women's. Yeah, I agree. Someone like Asuka would be the best choice. Obviously we've discussed Tony Storm. Obviously not in WWE anymore. I'd like to see someone from NXT. Maybe is Blackheart still in NXT now?
Ciampa?
No, Shotzi.
Oh, no, she's on SmackDown now, mate.
SmackDown. Yeah, maybe. So someone like Shotzi Blackheart, maybe potentially. I thought she was very an interesting personality on NXT back in the day. Especially with that. Is it the hell? No, it was I keep forgetting event names now. It was in the cage, wasn't it?
War Games.
War Games, that's it. Yeah, I keep thinking Hell in the Cell. It was not. Yeah, thank you. War Games. The War Games match was amazing. I also think as a third choice for the men's, maybe Loomis as well, because how long have we been saying? Well, I've been saying that he needs to. He's had a shot at the title before, obviously, but why not build up his personality, alongside Mrs. Loomis? I don't know if that's kayfabe or not, but and get a shot at winning the WWE title, maybe. So yeah, a couple of choices, but yeah, see how it goes, I guess.
Interesting as always, Jake. Always interesting, mate, to hear what random names you're going to pull out of the hat to win these competitions. But why not? Why not? Could a non-speaking man win the Royal Rumble? It's happened before. Yeah. we'll have to see about that. On the other side of things, then, guys, in AEW, obviously, we have had the newly reformed UE and obviously Red Dragon are back together with Fish and O'Reilly. What do you think, Josh? I like the way AEW are playing it out. Kind of Adam Cole, Bucks, Red Dragon. Where's he going to go? And obviously twisted it last week with him walking out with the Bucks rather than O'Reilly and Fish. What do you reckon?
I think it's going to be a waiting for Kenny Omega to come back, personally. I think it's something they can definitely sort of play on. They can maybe form, a faction, the 5 of them, because probably Blood and Guts will be coming up soon enough, like their version of War Games. As long as they don't have any cardboard for Chris Jericho to fall on. And they could be either baby faces, heels, whatever they want, really, because they're all so popular. But I see eventually it going, Kenny Omega and the Bucks versus the UE, and then potentially bringing in the trios titles that they've been talking about, and that be the kickstart for that division. I think whatever Adam Cole does, babyface, heel, he's brilliant. I think Kenny Omega and the Bucks have got a bit more star power. I think if you compare to, maybe Bobby Fish, brilliant, but not the best, or not even not the best talker, had fewer opportunities to be a good talker when he had someone like O'Reilly. Had someone like Cole, doing the talking for you, and O'Reilly, just what he does in the ring, he's brilliant. But no, I think it's good. I like all the performers involved. Even, the Young Bucks being their smarmy, horrible selves. I think that's brilliant. But no, I think, it's a future, or it's like a past meets future, or past meets past, and Adam Cole's got to decide where he goes, and does he just, screw it all off and go and form a men and women's tag team with Britt Baker? But I don't know. But the other big news for me, have you seen Cody's new merch?
Oh, it's got heel, babyface.
Babyface, heel, winner.
Yeah.
Yeah, so obviously he's massively playing into that heel, babyface, getting booed. Like, he comes out in the middle, not the right or the left anyway. So I think, personally, I'd rather see Sammy Guevara keep that title than Cody. But if it's the catalyst for a Cody heel turn, then I don't mind that. But I'm sure Sammy Guevara doesn't mind. After splitting up with his fiance and partner of 8 years, he's now dating Ty Conti. So I'm sure Sammy Guevara is happy with whatever he's doing in his life, because, like I say, he's dating Ty Conti. So he's a very, very lucky chap. But no, I love.
Or Pam.
Poor bless her. But apparently he split up a few months ago. So, But no, big fan of Adam Cole, big fan of Red Dragon. And if you think back, like, all 3 of them were Ring of Honor World Champions, like, back in the day. They have got the clout to, carry divisions, things like that. Be interesting for 2022 to see who leaves AEW. Obviously, Big Swole's already done it. Obviously, the wife of Cedric Alexander, whether she'll think about WWE. Brian Cage is another heavily rumored one. MJF as well has even been stirring the pot himself, saying, well, when my contract's up in 2024, maybe I'll go to the competition. But that's just MJF being MJF. But I think he'd thrive in WWE, personally. But he obviously wouldn't be allowed the creative freedom he clearly is in AEW. But we shall see. It should be an interesting year in 2022. Interesting year in wrestling.
Oh, I agree, mate. Let's just get some predictions then. Before we go, we've obviously got the big matches this week and Battle of the Belts coming up. So, Jake, Hangman Page, Daniel Bryan. No, sorry, I'll take it back. Hangman Page, Bryan Danielson 2 happening tomorrow night. Do you think Danielson wins, or does Page finally beat him and get all the praise he deserves?
Page will beat him. Page to win.
Right, you, Josh?
Yeah, I think it's too soon. It's too soon. And a loss doesn't hurt Bryan. They could have another hour time limit draw. But, yeah, Page to win, and I don't think it should be a draw. I think he should win. Yeah,
well, it won't be a draw, Josh. Apparently, if the 60 minutes are up, it goes to special judges to decide who wins. 3 judges.
It sounds like something off like Dancing on Ice. So no, Page to win, Buckshot Lariat, Page to win.
Nice. Okay, I'll stick with you then first on this one. Battle of the Belts, Britt Baker versus Rio.
Britt Baker.
Fair.
Britt Baker.
The Doctor. What about you, Jake?
Yeah, Britt Baker all day.
All day. Sounds like someone else's catchphrase, but we'll allow it. Okay. What else have we got? We've got FTR versus Jurassic Express, Jake, for the tag titles.
Ooh, I would say Jurassic Express on this one.
I think it's time because of good old Christian in their corner.
Yeah, I think he'll have something to do with it. Yeah, and Jungle Boy deserves something as well. Sorry. Oh yeah.
Yeah, no, I agree with you. Yeah, assuming they're building him up as the pillar. Do you agree with Jake on that one, Josh?
Are we talking about the AAA tag titles?
No, FTR have that. It's Jungle Boy and Luchasaurus versus what's it called? Lucha Brothers. Did I say?
Oh,
FTR?
yeah, you said FTR. I was like,
sorry.
Yeah.
Strike me from my records. I'm messing up today. Yeah, no. Lucha Bros versus Jurassic Express is happening Wednesday, tomorrow.
Lucha Bros to win. I think again, AEW like long, drawn out title reigns, and I think Lucha Bros have earned it just for that cage match. They've earned, at least 6 months for those titles. So yeah, Lucha Bros to win. I think brilliant match though. So obviously Luchasaurus, big athletic, big man, Jungle Boy, one of the 4 pillars. So no, but Lucha Bros to win, I think.
Potential Jurassic Express heel turn?
I think they're too popular. I think they probably sell too much merch, and they're too popular. And do you really want most of the 4 pillars of AEW being heels?
Yeah, I get what you mean. Well, it's just MJF, really, isn't it? Darby and Sammy aren't heels.
Yeah, well, Sammy's been one, and Darby's got. I think his character would suit being a heel. I think Darby Allin is a better babyface because he's with Sting, and I think no one can boo Sting. Whereas if he was on his own, if someone said this guy's a heel, I don't think anyone would have too much of an issue with it. But I think out of the 4, the most natural babyface is Jungle Boy, and he could potentially do a Rey Mysterio and just be a babyface, the underdog, especially because of his size, his whole career. Because I don't really view Jungle Boy being, a legitimate threat as a heel because he's not particularly sneaky and his moveset's too showy. And can you really have a lizard as a heel? It's my
I just thought maybe with Christian there, he's been a bit mouthy about them being the best tag team and all this, and he tagged that himself in on Penta the other day in a big 8-man. So I just thought maybe he would do it. Maybe Jungle Boy would a bit like Private Party, really. They're with Matt Hardy. Can't really still call them heels, even though they've been there, but they are in a heel faction. So I thought maybe Christian gets involved without them knowing in this match. They win the titles and then they just naturally become the heel faction. But I don't know. We'll have to see. But yeah, I think it'd be a great match, like you both said. The other one, Cody Rhodes, Sammy Guevara rematch, TNT title.
Cody Rhodes, I think, maybe with the heel turn.
Would be good. Do you agree, Jake?
Yeah, I agree. Yeah.
And what do we think, last but not least, then what do we think about Hook? How good is Hook in the ring? Should be surprised, really, with him being the son of Taz, but, he's selling the merch with his Just Send Hook t-shirt, going mad on AEW sales.
Yeah, I think he's all right. Again, he's decent. I think it helps having his dad when his dad was on commentary for him. But no, he is. He's very good in the ring. Strange name, Hook. It's like it just reminds me of Robin Williams and Dustin Hoffman. But that's probably not something they've got in America. That probably wasn't the biggest film. But no, very good in the ring. And strange to see someone going on like a dominant tear who's not like a monster sort of thing. But also, just talking of monsters, have we all seen Braun Strowman's now dyed his beard like peroxide blonde? Looks hilarious.
Yeah.
It's a very good look.
Why not? Why not? If you're a monster, do what you want. What do you reckon, Jake? What do you think of Hook?
He's a good up and coming prospect, really. Just you want to keep it going. They need to find some way to keep his sort of like streak going. You don't want him to be like just too. I don't know what the word is. You don't want to keep him too like strong. He's got to be able to, like, a good wrestler has got to be able to win and lose matches like a champ. Like, do you know what I mean? He's got to have a variety of matches and a variety of outcomes. Obviously, as Josh said, Taz being his dad is a step in the right direction. But he could definitely go on his own, work on his keep practicing his moves and his mic skills, because his Taz wasn't amazing in terms of mic skills, in my opinion, unless we talk about his commentary that he's done in previous years. But yeah, I think he'd be a great prospect. Just let's hope the ember doesn't die out, if you know what I mean, too soon.
That's fair, mate. I think, like you say, it's weird for a guy in a heel faction to be so popular with the crowd, and like I say, it's got a great moveset, so maybe that has to change. And as Joshy said before, what with the Adam Page stuff and all that, hopefully AEW capitalize on his tear up at the moment and don't leave it too late for it to ignite. But definitely good, and yeah, I'm interested to see how he gets on. Okay, guys, I can see our time is coming to an end, so thank you very much for being part of the show as usual. Look out for it on YouTube to our viewers and on our Twitter channel as well. We will be advertising it. But till next time, guys, thank you very much.
Bye.
Bye.